2,600 years ago that day the monk named Tissa received the food offering from the hand of the goldsmith's wife. The monk, after having finished his lunch and had not left, sat down to rest in the goldsmith's house. At that moment, an official came to the house and handed out a gem to the goldsmith and ordered him to drill a hole and polish it, then present to the king. Yes, I obey the king orders. He will drill a hole and polish the gem within a few days. When I got it done, I will notify the official to come and pick it up. The goldsmith at that time just held the meat had blood and blood stuck to his hand, and he held the gem. The blood stuck to the gem and he put the gem on top the box. The monk about to get up and ready to go home, then he saw the goose eating the gem because the goose smell of blood, so the goose thought it was food. Since the goose swallowed the gem and the monk knew that in a few minutes when the goldsmith come back and see the gem is missing, he will sure to get very angry. When the goldsmith came back and see the gem is missing, and he asked everyone in the family, does any of them take the gem? The wife, children, and servants replied they did not see the gem and no take the gem. The goldsmith heard no one in the family take the gem. He doubted that the person who take the gem must be the monk. The goldsmith go ask the monk, did you steal the gem? The monk replied, I did not steal the gem. I am a monk, I kept my precept good, no stealing. The goldsmith not believe what the monk said. He told the monk, you're the only one who said here you not steal the gem, so who steal the gem? The monk did not want to point out who took the gem just because he want to protect himself. The monk knew if he let the goldsmith know the goose swallowed the gem, the goose would be killed, so the monk kept secret, no reveal. The monk said, I did not steal the gem, I kept the precept very good, no stealing. The monk confirmed that he not steal the gem, but the goldsmith still not believe him. The goldsmith thought the monk is a liar. The monk confirmed that he did not steal the gem. The goldsmith, his anger increased as his face turned red, his eyes widened, his brows furrowed, his teeth gnashed. The goldsmith was so angry in his heart that he confirmed that the monk had stolen the gem, and he tied the monk's hand with a rope. The goldsmith tied the monk's hand with a rope and repeatedly beat the monk's head with a stick, wanting the monk to reveal where the gems were. The monk was hit on the head many times too hard. The blood came out a lot and the blood fell to the ground. The goldsmith is not at fault, the goose is not at fault, and I am not at fault. This is all due to karma. The goose saw the blood on the ground. He came to eat the blood, and the goldsmith was so angry he kicked the goose in the head and shouted loudly and said, you too. The goose gets kicked like thunder, hit his head, fell to the ground and fell down dead. The monk looked at the goose lying dead. The monk immediately asked the goldsmith to untie him, and then the monk promised to tell him where the gem was hidden. The goldsmith untied the monk's hand. The monk immediately approached the goose to make sure that the goose was really dead, and then the monk revealed the gem is in the goose's stomach. The goldsmith heard the monk reveal that the goose had swallowed the gem. He was shocked, pale-faced, immediately took the knife to cut open the stomach of the goose to see if there a gem inside. After cut open the goose's stomach, the goldsmith saw the gem was inside the stomach. When the goldsmith knew the truth, the goldsmith repented for the sin that he beat the monk on his head and knelt at the monk's feet to ask for forgiveness. The goldsmith then said that if the monk had forgiven him, the monk would then continue to come to his house to receive the food offering as usual. The monk said, "Forgive the goldsmith, but from now on I will not enter the house of any layman just because that person is an old acquaintance or a food giver. I will not enter or stay in the house to avoid what might happen like today." I keep begging for alms without discrimination or choice. I should go in order from house to house. The monk, due to his head, was beaten. A few days later, the monk died. Everyone admired and respected the monk. At Shravasti city inside the monastery named Kivintinekse, the Buddha narrated this story. The Buddha pays to the patience of his disciple. About the dead goose being born into the womb of the goldsmith's wife. The wife after death was born in heaven and the goldsmith was born in hell.